$99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Welcome to Fifth Street Sports, folks, on Sports Byline USA Radio Network, also on iHeartRadio and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget us on American Forces. But many thanks to the men and women in uniform. Folks, today we got a great show. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon in Vegas. We got Sean McCollum in the house, Oklahoma Brian, Florida Rick. We got the bases loaded, a big weekend, PGA, Preakness, NBA, NHL. I mean, there's more action. You can get more action than Jenna Jameson in the 90s, my friend. If anybody's worried about football being all there is, there's so much going on. Brian, how you doing, buddy? We got Sean in the house.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
There's Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, guys.
Buddy, we got the bases loaded today.
Are you saying Jenna Jameson got a lot of action in the 90s?
Oh, I think so. I mean, she was absolutely gorgeous, and she had no fear. She got, yeah, I mean, it was fun with Dick and Jane, put it that way.
Very talented actor.
Anyways, so Rick, we got Sean here in the house, buddy. He's got a great take. He's gonna really give you some good stuff for tonight's NBA.
Oh yeah, get to that a little bit later. Or you want me to roll right off?
No, because this is a short segment. Just kind of introduce things. Yesterday we actually had the day off. Just before we get into anything, before we get into the big segment, do you think that you guys could be a very competent dart coach for the dart team?
Yeah, I could.
You do?
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You agree? Yeah. So now, what's more? I mean, in the dart coaching, I was watching the dart coaches. They always got that big pitcher of beer, the chicken wings.
Right.
They got the chicken wings, the big beer, and they actually got a coach.
Do they have a coach?
What the strategy on that is?
Is this
Exactly.
Well, no, I don't think it is always aimed for the middle. I think it's more complex than that.
It is. Rick, see, that's a trap, going for the middle. If you notice the 20s and the 18s and the 16s where you double your points, they're up towards the corners. So
they got a lot to learn.
Yeah, it's darts. If you don't think darts are exciting, you didn't bet enough. Folks, when we come back, we got a full house. Florida Rick, Oklahoma Brian, and Sean McCollum in the house, back right after this timeout.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate, but you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and the resume, like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
What's in store for your business this week at Staples?
A rewarding relationship.
Staples wants to thank you for your business
by helping you save money for your business.
So now, during Staples Customer Appreciation Month, you can save big money on the things your business uses every day, like ink, toner, and paper.
And right now, a ream of Staples multi-purpose paper is only $4.50. That's almost half off.
Just our way of saying thanks.
Staples, there's a whole lot in store.
In store only, ends 5/25/19. Valid on SKU 513099.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207. Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
All right, guys, we are back. It is Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. Welcome to the show. We got Sean McCollum, Oklahoma Brian, and Florida Rick. Guys, since we got four of us, what I'll do is, because we want all your opinions and all your input, I'll direct it to one of you. Like I was talking to Sean without the thing, but Rick, we want to hear what you and Sean, and I'll go to Rick first. What you think on tonight's game with these Milwaukee Bucks?
You know what? This game I'm actually really torn. Normally, I like the team who's been down, the first game to come back and cover or maybe win the second game. But the first game was so odd because Milwaukee was losing the entire game. Toronto had the game won, and then the final couple minutes, Milwaukee just came on like crazy. Not only won the game but covered. So this one I've been actually thinking about going back and forth all day. I think I would actually lean to Milwaukee winning this game on the larger end today. I don't love it, but if I had to bet it, I would lean towards Milwaukee, laying the 6.5, 7, figuring that they played a bad game the first game. They still were able to, come out and get the win and the cover. And I think they're going to play a much better game tonight. And I think they're quite a bit better team than Toronto. So I actually like Milwaukee here to win and cover 2 in a row.
All right, Sean, what's your take on this game?
Yeah, I can see that. I agree, but I actually like the over in this game because, Frank, we were talking a little bit during the break. You said games 1 and 7 usually are kind of those feel-out games, hard-fought, defensive. But if I had to make a play tonight, I'm liking the over in that Milwaukee game. I think it's going to be competitive, high-scoring, but I do think Milwaukee can and will cover, actually. But if I had to have a single play, I like the over. I really do.
217. Now to Brian. I know, Brian, that's like talking dirty to you when I say we like the over. You know what I mean?
I actually like the over too. I love the over tonight. I like the over on the side, so that's a 3-way match. And I'm betting the draw on the side. I think this game ends up in a tie.
So
probably goes to PK. Maybe
that's my soccer angle. They do have props. Like, will the game go into overtime?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that it goes to overtime and finishes at a draw, and they have to go to PKs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, that would be kind of like, that's soccer, okay? And you know what? I think that's very merciful that after watching an hour and 20 minutes of this, at least they put an end to it, you know what I mean? With penalty kicks. Could you imagine if it was sudden death in soccer? How? That could be the most brutal 5 or 6 hours of your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Scary, right?
I agree.
So,
yeah.
So 217 on this total, Brian, and you would lean over on this?
I like the over a lot. I've seen a lot of sharp accounts on it. I'm convinced. This is there's not many things that I think are unanimous all-in bets in the playoffs. This is one of them. I would, whatever you have, if you have to sneak money out of the piggy bank or, pawn your children
Yeah, retirement.
Oh,
fund,
oh.
They should jump in
Now-
themselves. Yeah, on them. Whatever it takes.
I've announced myself twice, and I'll say it, very shamefully, because Erin is Sean's sister. Now there was 2 games, Erin, Sean, that I've actually declared myself to the guys on the thing that I would have gone into, because my niece has special needs, that I would have gone into my niece's trust fund and bet it. That was the opener with the Eagles and the Falcons.
Yeah.
And there was another game. Of course, I would have gotten out of there twice. But is that strong enough for me to go into her trust fund, Brian?
I think so.
The over.
Yeah, might as well. Yeah.
So Sean, your mom wouldn't be pissed off if I withdrew, say, 33 or 44,000 out of Aaron's trust fund and shipped it on the over today at the Mirage, or
Probably wouldn't know till it hit it till it won. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's that's the professional way of now. You're going to get a lot of conflicting advice in this business, but Fifth Street Sports, we tell you like it is, and that's the way the pros do it.
Oh yeah.
there you go, folks. It's that strong. So Brian, I'll stick with you, and then we'll go over to Rick. I love now we're going to go from the hardwood to the mud. I love your War of Will out of the one post in the Preakness. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think I got robbed in the Kentucky Derby. I think I should have won if it wasn't for the shenanigans of the Trump favorite horse getting in the way. That was my race. And you see, by the way, that the I don't know if horses can get pardoned, but the jockeys can get pardoned, but the jockey got a 2-week suspension. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I did not see that.
Is now our president is that something within the jurisdiction of a presidential pardon? Can Trump intervene and reduce the length of his sentence?
I don't know, but I know that Obama let pedophiles and drug dealers out. I think a jockey could maybe.
Trump can do whatever he wants, man.
I think maybe a jockey could get a little bit of love in that spot.
Well, we'll see.
But okay, wait a second. Let's before we get back to sports, who's the number one pardoner as far as letting people out right at the wire? Wasn't it Bill Clinton? This guy let like a jailbreak, like 150-person jailbreak on his last.
Well, it gets bigger. It seems to get bigger with each president, and they know better than to vote. I mean, there have been pardons. Every president makes some pardons during their. During the meat of their administration, but typically the big bulk of the pardons come on the last day of school. So that's
right.
That's what
right. That's like on the second term, right at the wire, so that they got nothing to lose, and then they're going to go and live happily ever after with the Secret Service watching them. They just let it. It's like a jailbreak, right?
It is. Yep.
Wow.
I'm looking right now. I'm sorry to interrupt. We're looking right now at the number of pardons by presidents, and I never looked at this before until you just mentioned it, Frank. But it looks like Franklin Roosevelt gave away 2,819 pardons, followed by Harry Truman, 1,913 pardons, Eisenhower, 1,110. We can get to our current presidents of recent times: Clinton, 396, Reagan, 393, George W. Bush, 189, Obama, 212. So. I mean, going back to the Roosevelt and Truman era, I wonder if that was something war-related,
Yeah,
I wonder.
And exactly. But remember, Roosevelt did 3.5 terms, Right. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's why
true.
That's why that might have been high. But, hey, now that we're talking like this and we got a little bit of data from the last 3 or 4 presidents, can we make a betting line on this?
Ooh.
Can we make an over-under?
Again. Boy, I'm going to say it's going to be at least 400. I'd say 400 over minus 50.
Wait a second, but Obama only let 212 go. You think Trump's going to double that?
I don't.
Because the second term, maybe. Yeah.
No, because they do it always at the end of their second.
Oh, they do. I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh no,
No.
maybe not.
Well, no.
Maybe right.
It's in the case of Trump, it'll be at the end of his first term because there won't be a second term. But yes. I believe that he will go over 400 easily. In fact,
Did you see the stable of Democrats, though?
I agree with Brian
Did
on that
you see
one.
the stable of Democrats? Oh, my gosh.
Just takes one. Just one.
Well, you guys, we're
I'm
going
right
to
there with you, Brian.
Believe me, there's going to be a lot of betting on it. I wouldn't put Brian. I would not empty out the 401ks, even Bingo and Charlie's retirement. I wouldn't do any of that stuff and ship it against Trump. But I think it's a slammer. I think it's going to be a cakewalk.
That's where he's going, or that's your analysis.
That's my analysis. I mean,
okay.
Look at the clowns on the Democrat side. Come on, Bernie and the boys. That's not going to happen.
Can't wait to find out.
Yep, it's going to be exciting. But anyways, Rick, when we come back, let's talk a little bit more. I wanted, because it's going to be over the weekend. We need your take on this Warriors Portland game. Sean, you're going to have something on that, right? It's 2.5 and what, 221 or 224?
No, I think it's closer to 224 on that one. But I really like the Golden State getting 2.5. I mean, how can you not?
Especially 3. My gosh, if you can get 3 with Golden State, but boy, that zigzag game can be such a trap sometimes.
True. Don't be surprised if the Warriors went outright, though, because, think about it. They got a 2-0 lead. They're definitely the better team. And all it takes is just a 3 at the buzzer to win it, and then you're right there getting that money. So,
no, you are. But folks, by the way, when we come back over the weekend, I got a special bonus for you. I got a good MMA fighter for you. We're going to release it when we come back. It's Florida Rick, Oklahoma Brian, Sean McCollum in the house. This is Frank Perez. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about Elite Rehab Placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com, that's MYEVOZ.com, to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Fifth Street Sports, folks. We are back. Sports Byline USA Radio Network, American Forces. iHeart, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can catch us on Twitter at Fifth Street Sports. We got Sean McCollum here with me in the studio, Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick. Hey, you guys, I got to ask you, I don't know which one, was it Brian or Rick that you guys told me about this guy betting $100,000 to win $10 million on Tiger? Tiger's scrambling to make the cut right now, my friends. He's +3 in the projected cut. He's through 10. He's +3. Projected cut is +3.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
I can't actually remember the last time I said this, but I'll be pulling for Tiger because I would like to see him. I'd like to see him wear a red shirt on Sunday.
Yeah, he's never won a back-to-back major.
So, Rick, remember, I think it was you that brought that out, $100,000 to win $10 million, and then we said what a ridiculously bad value bet that was because Tiger was 9-1 just in this one. Do you? I mean, this is like almost like stealing, right?
Yeah, I was actually talking about this with Brian earlier today. What a bad line that was. And then, it's just hard to believe the guy says he's never made a sports bet in his entire life, and he comes out and bets $85,000. Basically like his money he found, was able to part from on Tiger to win the Masters. And honestly, at 14-1, that was the bad line. The real line probably truly should have been closer to 30 or 40-1. I mean, he won it, so of course it looks good. But now you give him 100-1 to win the other three majors, and think of it. Realistically, he should be what, maybe 25-1 in each one, and he's getting 100-1 to win all of them. That's such an atrocious line. It should have probably been closer to 1,000-1 or maybe even more. And it's funny. Like the guy wins $1.2 million, and then he just I'm going to make my second sports bet of my life. I mean, none of this is believable, but let's just go with it. And his second sports bet is now throwing $100,000 away, at a ridiculous line of 100-1. But if you really won $1.2 million, are you going to throw $100,000 away like you just won $10? It's still not a drop in the bucket, even if you're worth $1.2 million. That's almost 10% of what you own. So I don't know. I don't really believe this whole guy's story from the get-go. I saw he was convicted of, I don't know if it was fraud or embezzlement or maybe domestic violence. He has some issues anyway, so he's really not a trustworthy guy. So nothing he really says do I believe, but it just, you just come out with such a bad bet at 100-1. And then, of course, they had to advertise it. They advertise at William Hill, like, oh, look at us, look how generous we are. We're giving this guy 100. It makes the news. I think the guy just wants to be on the news. I think that was his whole big deal.
Well, wait a second. Before we go any further, I want everybody to throw down their best conspiracy theory. Because I've heard a lot of people say it doesn't make sense, but nobody tells me what they think is really going on. So what do you think? What do you think? Maybe did he know someone at William Hill and they gave him maybe a little bit of a rebate on his bet if he would agree to be a poster child for bad bets and an advertisement for them? Or?
I mean, Sean, like you do the radio show with Ken Thompson here on the thing. I know you guys talk a lot of golf.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that wager?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But let me ask you this: let's play devil's advocate. What does past convictions and all that has to do with the present? Or excuse me, have to do with the present, the current?
Right. But still, I mean, 100-1. If he's not even 9-1 to the third is ridiculously higher than that. But here's what I think, though, you guys. A guy comes right out of the woodworks and says he's never made a bet, bets $85,000 to win the Masters and win $1.2 million. Just like I don't know if he was an accountant or whatever he was doing. I mean, and he nails it. He hits it. So you got to tell me, you guys, we've seen some of these GA stories and everything, right? This guy's probably, and now all of a sudden he takes $100,000 and ships it in to win the next three. This guy has got the needle. If it's a true story, I mean, he may have the needle here real bad. Yeah. We might see him if he keeps this up. I mean, the guy wins his first bet for $1.2 million. None of us have ever done nothing like that.
Right.
We might see this guy on the one of the cable networks. Those lottery guys that have blown it all back. Oh, yeah. This guy might really get the gambling needle in like 2 years from now. He's, working the drive-through at Popeyes. You know what I mean? Popeyes chicken.
Familiar with it. Love it. Actually.
Brian goes to Baton Rouge a couple times a year, and I think in Baton Rouge, what do you do? Like 2-3 times a day, he goes to Popeyes.
It's on every corner. Yeah, there's like 733 of them in the town. But back to accounting, though. That kind of is my theory. So I can't explain the original bet. It made no sense. It was a bad bet, but people are dumb by and large. So that maybe could explain the first part. The second bet, is it possible that, okay, he's going to get taxed at a very high tax rate on winning the $1 million. And we know that if he changes his status to professional gambler, he can deduct losses to the extent of his wins. So maybe you could argue that the second bet, in his mind, he's like basically he's only having to risk like 50 cents on the dollar, and that maybe explains why he made the second bet, because he basically anticipates a big tax year.
You mean as a loss? Yeah, but even at that, it's still a horrible bet because he should be.
It's still a horrible bet. I mean, it's hard to. You would think if you won $1 million, someone might hand you a pamphlet or something, and you might read up on, I just can't imagine. Hey, Jimmy, you just made $1 million, but that was the dumbest bet you've ever made. Here, go read up for 5 minutes, so that the next time you you win $2 million instead of $1 million. The second bet is baffling. There had to be some kind of accounting angle, or something doesn't. Something's not right. I agree. We're not hearing the whole story.
No, and I've lived in Vegas 55 years, so I've seen every story of, tourists come and they hit the Wheel of Fortune and everything. And we all know that Vegas is like the only town that you can come in an $80,000 Jaguar and leave on a $250,000 bus. Because especially when these guys' first win is something like this, the addiction. I mean, Sean, you just, like you were in college at UNLV and at Boise State. Right. Was there a lot of gambling on the campus?
On the campus? No, not at all. I mean, little bets here and there on the, who's playing this afternoon, what is the local team going to do, but, relating back to your point in Vegas, you're absolutely right, Frank. The flip of a coin can change everything, but, especially since, in this case, the first bet, that whole needle, that addiction, it's there, it's true. We see it every day here in Vegas, Frank.
I'm telling you, I mean, where's the guy from, Rick? Is he from Minnesota?
I think Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, somewhere in the Midwest.
Okay, this guy could be working at, in 3 years from now, you could see him on the side of the road, just walking into the cheese factory or.
Cheese factory.
Yeah. Or being hosted somewhere at the.
And then they'll say, "How did this start?" He goes, "Remember that bet with Tiger?
Right.
I got hooked. Next thing you know, I'm shipping it all in at all times."
That contagious gene of he's going to win every time, all the time.
I mean,
it's funny. That was my stereotype too. I was going to say cheese factory also. What does that say about people's stereotype of Wisconsin?
Right.
That's our go-to employer.
Farms, yeah.
You can't say that we're racist or we're making fun when these people wear these big blocks of cheese to the football games. I mean, we're not stereotyping or, and there's nothing wrong with working at a cheese factory, okay, or at Popeye's Chicken. I'm just saying, when you go from $1.2 million to working, and it can happen. I mean, I've seen it all in Vegas. I think the only thing I haven't seen is a 5-legged cat, but I've seen almost every kind of example that you could ever imagine.
Did you guys see the documentary on, I think it was HBO a few years ago, Making a Murderer? That guy, Stephen Avery?
No,
did you guys see that one?
I've heard of it, though. It was, that's, man.
No. What?
Okay. Well, no, it was an incredible documentary, and, it's, I'm not going to get into it if I think he's innocent or guilty. That's, you have to watch it. But anyway, the whole reason why I brought it up is the stereotype of Wisconsin people. It totally changed once I saw that flick, or not flick, the documentary. The way they talk, the way they act, like, wow. I really lost a lot of respect for people from Wisconsin by watching that documentary. But I think that was also people almost like in the backwoods. It's not people from like Milwaukee or even Green Bay or anything like that. It's people from. It was a little county called Manitowoc County, and I should say they most of them didn't go to college.
Well, no, wait, Rick. Now that you're out there, you're way out there on the ledge already. Okay, because. Let's get to before and after. Like before this documentary, what was your perception of Wisconsin?
I thought of like Wisconsin Badger football games, Packer games. Yeah, cheeseheads. That's all. I just imagine them all. We go to sports bars. I think Green Bay is probably the most popular team in the NFL, at least when you go to a sports bar, and half the bars wearing Green Bay shirts. Even if they're showing all the games, the other half seems like they're wearing Pittsburgh Steelers shirts. So, you always meet them. They're really nice, really friendly, always inviting you for beers, hang out in brats and everything. And, not saying these people in the show weren't nice, but man, they just left a lot to be desired there.
Okay, here's my quick take. I thought Wisconsin was like the girl next door, kind of like Seattle, a lot of flannel shirts, boots,
country, farm bread, get the Wildlife cooking
country,
on the grill.
Normal, the girl next door, no big deal, a full set of teeth, all that kind of stuff. But after this documentary, you mean you got disappointed with that?
Yeah, totally changed. Yeah, I kind of had the same view you did, and you just have to watch it. It's worth watching. I actually think they made a second part. I didn't watch the second part because I don't know. I just never put the hours into it. But it's definitely worth watching. I think it's a 4 or maybe a 5 or 6 part documentary.
Well, let me ask you guys something. You know how sometimes they've said that sometimes like MIT doesn't recruit in the southern part of the United States, and Stanford, and especially South Alabama. Do you think that's a stereotype, or do you think there really is something to that kind of?
I don't think MIT recruits. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's say Stanford or one of the big,
they'll keep their football down in the
folks,
South.
when we come back, before I put my foot in my mouth any deeper, we'll be back right after this break. Talk You Can Bet on 5th Street Sports.
Filling an opening at your company means more than just finding an employee. You're looking for a fit, a match. Robert Half understands that. We know you need someone who can do the work, someone who complements your culture. And of course, you need that someone fast. When it all comes together, it makes for a perfect fit. Satisfaction guaranteed. Robert Half, the matching experts in accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, and administrative staffing. Visit roberthalf.com/radio for more information.
Hey guys, your prostate should be the last thing on your mind, but the fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostate1perday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Guys, you manscape, right? Tidy up below the belt? Trim the Yeti? Every guy knows the tree stands taller when the shrubs are trimmed, and 9 out of 10 women said that they prefer their men manscaped. But you gotta use the right tools for the jewels, or you look like you clear-cut the forest with a machete. And nicks and cuts are the last thing the twins down south need. Pop over to my buds at manscaped.com and check out their Perfect Package 2.0 featuring the lawnmower, which is the perfect tool for below-the-waist grooming. And it's rechargeable and waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. Manscaped invented skin-safe technology that won't nick or snag Mars or Uranus, which hurts like the dickens when Jupiter ascends. Order your Perfect Package 2.0 featuring all the right tools for the jewels and get 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Pop over to manscaped.com and enter promo code USA for 20% off plus free shipping and a free travel bag. Manscaped.com, promo code USA. That's manscaped.com. Promo code USA.
All right, guys, Fifth Street Sports. We're back. We're on USA Radio Network. That's Sports Byline, by the way. Thank God, I was opening my mouth. I think I got saved by the bell there. But this is a Talk You Can Bet On segment. Okay, we got Sean's got a take on the games. Rick, Brian, you guys. Before we get to any of the picks or the selections, because I got a couple. I got some from our famous guy and also a really good UFC. Is there anything else you guys would like to bring up before we start the weekend on you think is worth mentioning in sports, fellas? Rick or Brian?
You mean like a long distance dedication or something?
No, something.
Style?
I mean, like, is there
Favorite
something
charity?
that that we should be aware of, or something that you believe is bothering you, or like besides Bryce Harper batting .215 and getting 30-something million a year?
Yeah, I'm against Bryce Harper. Actually, I'm enjoying Bryce Harper betting .215. No, I think that's it. Just Bryce Harper.
How about you, Rick? Rick, doesn't this Machado and Harper bother you a little bit?
No, because they kind of get what they deserve for paying these guys this much money. No one's ever worth that kind of contract, and you kind of saw it coming. At least I thought I did. I didn't think they were going to hit this bad, this poorly, but you knew they weren't going to live up to their expectations of hitting. It was like 330, with 38, 40 home runs and 130 RBIs. It just wasn't possible, and you're never going to get what you pay for. It's much better to, kind of go, lower salary and, younger, players who have lots of potential, and there's just no reason to pay someone that much money. That's some franchises I don't think pay their entire teams that much money. But what I was going to say, just real quick, getting back to that last subject with the guy in Wisconsin, I don't think we've heard the last of him. I think he's going to come out. We're going to hear maybe whether it's before the year starts and he's going to bet the Rams to win the Super Bowl, or he's going to come out and on the week of the Super Bowl make a big bet on whoever's in the Super Bowl to win. Or I think aside from now that he's got $1 million to his name, which who knows how much of that he still has, but he just really wants to be in the news and wants to have his face on the newspaper. As Brian used to say when we were growing up, it meant so much to have your name in the paper when you were a kid. I think the guy still has that same feeling as an adult.
Probably got a lot of new friends out there too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that money is probably already gone.
Yeah, good point. And then back to the whole Harper Machado point. It's not like they were breaking records to begin with when they got this deal, but that's asinine. I mean, like Rick said, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely falls 100% on the club's fault. That I can't fathom. So. Yeah,
but even Mike, I got a real good friend who's great in baseball, Ted Weinstock, and he was breaking it down. The Phillies could have actually picked up five very good players for less than they paid Harper.
Well,
but it's a 10-year thing, guys. I mean, you can't spoil the guys. I know Mantle, Cobb, Pete Rose. Well, not Rose is still alive. These guys got to be rolling over. It's Williams. They got to be rolling over in their graves
right.
for these 10-year contracts. You got to keep these players hungry. 2-3 years at the most. Make them earn their way.
Right.
God, it's almost like giving your 14-year-old starting her out with like an iPhone XS. You know what I mean? Like, where do you go from there?
I know a lot of people who actually do that. So
how's it working?
That's actually common nowadays. The kids love it, but yeah, the kids are.
What about now the complacency with these contracts and all that? And after year 2 or 3, goodbye. So.
You got to stay hungry in sports. I mean, I know as a highlight player, they put that carrot out there. If you won the singles championship, you made another $2,000 a year. If you won this, I fought like a dog to get that. If they would have signed me to a 5-year, $100,000 contract, who knows where I'd be right now? I don't think I'd be on this show. I think I would have been not in a good spot in life right now. Not that I'm in a good spot now, but imagine how worse it would be. Imagine how worse it would be. Hey, but you guys, let's start you guys off one at a time over here. It's Talk You Can Bet On. Coming into the weekend, Preakness, tennis, everything's going on. Rick, what can we make some dough on?
Okay, I'll gladly give out a few plays. Well, of course, the NBA, we all agree on Milwaukee and over. I didn't mention the over, but I was actually talking to another friend of mine earlier today, and I said how the game ones and game 7, love the under, but game 2 especially, if there's any game in the series, you want to bet over, it's usually game 2. It's that first game after they feel each other out, they usually explode. And it happened again in Portland last night, and I expect to happen in Milwaukee tonight. So I'm completely with Sean, and I actually would rather have the over than Milwaukee, but I do like Milwaukee too after what I told you guys earlier. As for other games and other sports, I'm not going to give out a hockey play because I think I'm still 0-3 in hockey, and next year I'll go delve more into hockey. But for now, in baseball tonight, I like the Mets over 6.5. DeGrom and Richards. I think the Mets themselves might score 6 or 7 runs. DeGrom's usually good for giving up a couple runs in the game. So the Mets should win, but I'm not going to lay minus 220 or even the run line here. But I like the over 6.5. I think the Mets, like I said, can hit that number themselves. I like Tampa Bay at the Yankees, even money, plus 101, plus 102. They're using their opener, Stanek, who's pretty much starting about 35 to 40% of their games, which is funny. Can you imagine 10, 15 years ago? I'm telling you, one team uses the same guy to start their games almost half the time. You'd be like, what? You would never even expected that this phenomenon with the openers. It's now there's 4 teams doing it now. Tampa Bay, the Angels are doing it. Who tries? A couple other teams tried it this week. The Giants tried it, didn't go so well, so they might not go back to it. And I think Oakland tried it again also. So I don't know. I'm not sure really what the reasoning for it is, but it works for Tampa. So, but I do like him in the spot against Sabathia, small dog on the road, and also I like the Blue Jays in that game, plus 110. Sanchez at Nova. They lost last night. I think they come back and get a win tonight. So those are my baseball plays for tonight, along with, of course, the basketball.
Wow, so you're saying it's like reverse relief pitching, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Wow,
yeah.
There could be something to it. If you're a team right now like the Orioles or the Marlins or something, you could try anything. Let's say like your reliever, like your key reliever or your closer isn't getting that much work. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He ain't getting that much work. So why not start this guy off to throw an inning or two? Because how many times is being a closer for the Marlins or the Orioles has got to be kind of like being a soccer coach, right? You're just going to stand around in the bullpen a lot, right?
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's something else a friend of mine and I were talking about earlier this week. And that is, and we mentioned those exact teams, the Marlins, Orioles, Royals. These teams never get to use their closers. So what's happening in games where they're losing, 10-1 going to the 9th inning, and in normal teams, they throw their worst relief pitcher, and a lot of times now they throw position players. So their second baseman is pitching the 9th inning when they're down 9, 10 to 11 runs.
I think the Giants had the third baseman, Pablo Sandoval, pitching the other day. So.
Yeah, it happens a couple times a week now. It happened just yesterday or 2 days ago, I think, with the Royals, I believe it was, or the Tigers. Sorry, Tigers fall in that category too. Yeah. Anyway, but what happens with the Marlins and Orioles are so bad that they never get to use their top relief pitchers because they're never winning. So what they do in these games where they're losing 10-1 the 9th, and other teams are using their throwaway relief pitchers or position players, not the Marlins and Orioles. Nope, they're putting their top relievers in there in the 9th inning in those situations. So, I guess it's better to lose 10-1 than 13-1. So if you're ever thinking about going over 11.5, like an interactive, going to the top of the 9th, don't do it with the Marlins and Orioles because they're actually going to use their top relievers in those situations. Wow. But you're right, Frank. Maybe it's best in those. Use that guy to start the game. Let him pitch an inning or two, and good chance you'll still be in the game after the second inning instead of already being down 3 or 4-0.
Yeah,
and I think that's maybe what Tampa was thinking.
So now over to Brian. Brian, first, is there anything besides your the Preakness, anything that you want to share with the folks here to make some dough this weekend?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I like the Baltimore Orioles tonight. Actually, a guy that was we talk about guys who like to fade. They're actually throwing out a guy that was faded all year last year, but I don't think he's that bad. He's actually a little bit of value on him. I like Dylan Bundy getting. What can I get on him now? About plus 168? No, 158.
No. Yeah, about 155.
Yeah, about 158. Seen that in a few accounts. I like that. I agree with Florida Rick on the Blue Jays. Yeah, that's it. We had an earthquake, by the way, about 20 minutes ago here. I'm trying to figure out the magnitude.
Was it a fracking caused earthquake, Brian?
I'm glad you're.
Well, without a doubt. Yeah.
Well, now we'll go over to Sean. All right, Sean, what do you like this weekend? Where's some value? Where can we make some money?
Yeah, I like, well, besides my obvious Milwaukee play tonight, I think that's an essential, and I use that as a keyword, essential lock. Go with the over in the Milwaukee-Toronto NBA game. Tomorrow's NBA action, Golden State, I actually like a Golden State money line, believe it or not. And I'll tell you why. I think they're the better team. You know, they came back from, deficit mostly the whole game last night. But with that, anywhere from 2, 2.5 to even 3 some places, I look at the money line because think about it, Golden State is the better team. I think they would have a much tougher time with Denver. I think, I still think Portland gets a game in the series, but you got to go with Golden State for the win. So my best bet is going to be Golden State tomorrow, Saturday, money line.
Wow. All right, you guys, now get ready because this is straight out of the sharp accounts over at 5 Dimes. We got you, and I sent it to you guys this morning. MMA, Grant Dawson plus 110. It's moved 25 cents. I think it's still worth a play at minus 115. By the way, I shot that over to Daniel Wages early, and he liked it before I brought it to him. So it matches Daniel Wages. That's Grant Dawson from the super sharp account in Costa Rica. Here's from a couple of baseball plays from our sharp account that we know who it is. Colorado and Philly over 9. Giants and Arizona under 9. And Minnesota minus 115 over Seattle. That's straight out of super sharp accounts. But, guys, I am going to take a War of Will to win the Preakness. I need Jordan Spieth. I'm going to send you guys each a case of Omaha Steaks if Jordan Spieth wins this thing. I got 38 to 1 on him. And that's documented. I'm going to send you guys each Omaha Steaks.
I'll hold you to it.
Jordan Spieth can win this thing. He's in second right now. Koepka just bogeyed. Tiger fighting to make the cut, fighting like a dog. He needs to stay. If he bogeys, he's through 11. He's got to stay up. He's plus 3, and that's the projected cut. So if he chokes on one more hole or doesn't net at least par from here, Tiger will be on the sidelines for the weekend. Which is kind of a shame. I mean, could you imagine, you lose your $100,000, you didn't even make the cut?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, he's never actually won a back-to-back major or consecutive majors in his career with as much as he's done.
He never won, but didn't he win the Grand Slam, but not in the same year?
The same year, correct, but no consecutive majors. And obviously the last one at Augusta, he won that, obviously. This one, PGA at PGA Championship. Tiger, I think he's still 3 away from Nicklaus. But, yeah, no consecutive major wins in the same calendar year for Tiger, believe it or not. I was shocked when I read that yesterday.
I did not know that.
Yeah. He last won the PGA at Southern Hills because I was
Yeah, that's
there.
right, Brian, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when we come back, Rick, I wanted to get the name of that documentary you were talking about in the Wisconsin people. I just want to see where you're going at. So you were terribly disappointed in the stereotypical cheesehead that you thought you were going to see here, right?
Wholesome bread,
Yeah,
Wisconsin.
maybe a little bit less of Wisconsinites. But I think, again, it's like the backwoods Wisconsinites, not necessarily the...
When we come back, we got 3 minutes to think about it. I want you guys to think about any stereotype that you guys have seen that upgraded your thought on what you thought of the area or the county and everything that you were thinking about. But guys, when we come back, Fifth Street Sports back right after this break.
Attention business owners, now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for the business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now. So please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit, and 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the Tax Helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
All right, guys, Fifth Street Sports, Sports Byline USA Radio Network. We got a really fun show today with Sean McCollum, Oklahoma, Brian, and Florida Rick. Getting back to Rick. Rick, what I was saying is kind of like in baseball. Have you ever seen a show where you've seen the reverse of what your thought was in a certain thing? Like, for instance, you're going through South Alabama and you stop at a coffee shop and you see everybody doing, like, trying to split the atom or doing cold fusion. And it kind of surprised you? Well, I mean, kind of like the reverse. But folks, when we come back, now remember, this is what we like. The whole panel agreed. The Milwaukee game over today. Right? That right, Rick? Recap what you had again in baseball.
My baseball plays were Tampa Bay on the side. I like Toronto on the side against the White Sox, and I like Mets Marlins over 6.5. Those are my three baseball plays.
Sean, you like the over?
Yeah, I like over in the Milwaukee game. But real quick point in the San Francisco-Arizona MLB game, I like that under. Samardzija, he's starting today. He's given up a little less than 4 a game. It's going to be a pitcher's park, actually, Chase Field. I like the under in that game.
Good.
But, yeah, still sticking with my over in Milwaukee. That's my best bet.
Okay, and then my MMA fighter matches Daniel Wages and the super sharp guy at 5 dimes. That's Grant Dawson, probably minus $1.10, $1.15 right now. Rick, I'm going to go with Brian's War of Will in the Preakness.
I like
probably
that.
about 4 or 5 to 1. I might do a little exacta with Improbable, but it just doesn't look like it's going to pay much. Okay, I told you over Colorado, under Giants, Minnesota side. I think that's about it, guys. And Rick, thank you very much. It's been a great show. Brian left us. I mean, he must have, Charlie or Bingo must have got the microphone or something. But when we come back, folks, we'll be back Monday. Folks, I appreciate you, and we thank you. Thanks, Rick. Tell Brian I said thanks. Sean, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Good show, you guys.
Always.
Have a safe weekend. Let's get lucky. Let's have a good time
Always
and
a
win
pleasure
some
having
money.
me on. Win some
See
money.
you back on Monday.
Let's see how we do on Monday. Good luck, gentlemen.
Good luck, guys.